It's a very big week for the football club, Dreamtime week, and this morning we've launched the third iteration of our Reconciliation Action Plan, a piece of work that we're really proud of as a club in a genuine leadership sense. And sadly though, one of our real inspirations for all of our work there, Nathan Lovett-Murray, has not been able to join us. Nathan, whose journey, as we know, has been full of challenges, has had to confront another incident overnight, which has sadly seen him require some medical treatment. The message to everyone, members, fans, and importantly his family and friends, is that Nathan's fine and he'll be back on deck really, really soon. His story remains an inspiration.
I set up Payback Records about 5 years ago, and it was set up to give young Indigenous people a voice for hip-hop music. Young Warriors being the main one standing strong. Now, in that time, in the last 5 years, we've been able to go overseas to New York and LA. We've done 2 national tours all around the country. I think to be able to give other young Indigenous people an opportunity, I'm really proud of that, and what we've done with Payback Records. I'm in a really good position now. Being an Essendon AFL footballer, and a lot of young people look up to you, and you get a lot of good opportunities. So I guess for myself, I like to sort of give back to the community, give back to the younger people, and be able to help them and set good examples for them as well. Yeah, being a part of Dreamtime, it's always been a highlight of my football career. The fact that when you run out onto the ground and you're knowing that all your community is behind you, all your family and friends are in the crowd watching, and I guess what the AFL do in terms of the importance of Indigenous culture and past Indigenous players that have represented the AFL, and it's just a big occasion, and it's only getting bigger. Yeah, going back to Heywood to give away a heap of tickets. I've got a big family, so I've got plenty of tickets to give away, and Dreamtime's always been a big highlight of my football career, and it's about recognising Indigenous people and culture, and I guess to be able to give away a heap of tickets to my family and to have them at the game, it's just a great experience for me. There you go. All buckled up? Yep. Ready to go?
Yep, ready.
All right, let's go.
Is the driver going to drive?
I thought you were driving.
I'm not going to drive.
Always good to come home and catch up with all the family and friends, and also good to bring home my little boy Mara, come back to Condah country. This is where I was born, and I grew up here, and this sort of shows where you come from, and the importance of knowing your history and also knowing the stories of your country, and being able to pass them stories on to your children as well. It's good to be able to show some of the Essendon members and supporters about where I come from, and share some of my stories to them, because I guess I see Essendon as a family, and to be able to share my stories to them, I'm really grateful for.
We're just pulling into the Windermurra Co-op now. It's really sort of helped me with my journey to football, and it offers a lot of support. It's just really good to come back here and show you some of the people that have influenced my journey and have made the person who I am today.
I'm the CEO of the Windermurra Aboriginal Corporation, which has been established for over 20 years. It's designed to support Aboriginal people with health, housing, education and employment opportunities. Just watching as Windermurra sort of grew, opportunities grew for Nathan as well. Watching him go from junior footy in Heywood, playing a couple of senior games, then getting involved with the Ballarat Rebels in the TAC. And to see him play over 130 odd games now, I think he's just built a strong career out of that.
Tell him what you got, Dad. Tell him what you got.
A what?
A turtle.
Got turtle.
Got
Turtle.
No.
Yeah. What did you name the turtle?
Leonardo.
Leonardo. Little baby turtle. Got him a little turtle tank.
That's the same as your father. He was a mad Ninja Turtle man. No, he was crazy on it. His connection to community is one of his strengths, and as an uncle, I'm really respectful of the way he connects to the Indigenous community, in the way he helps us helps young people develop, you know, through his record company. I didn't know much about, what is it, hip-hop or whatever he does. Considering that we're all country western, a bit of good time music down here, but he brought this hip-hop stuff down to us and connected heavily with young people. Since his connection to the Bombers, you know, that many Bomber jumpers get around this place, it's unreal, and quite a lot of number 42s, and the young fellas, you don't think they're noticing, but when you see their footy jumpers on them down at the junior footy, they got them on, and you know, they're always asking questions, how's he going, or did you see him do this last night on the tally? So, yeah, a very high figure in a little place like this.
Now, I've got some tickets to give out for the Dreamtime game. You want to go? Yeah. I did all my high school here, year 7 to year 12, and I think it's important to, you know, finish your school if you can, because like for myself, I knew that football wasn't always going to be there, so I've got to have something to fall back on, and education is always important, so, you know, try and stick out it if you can. And I know it gets hard, you have your ups and downs, and sometimes you don't want to be here and you want to go hang out with your mates that might not be going to school, but it's always good to come here and, you know, get an education, because, you know, once that time finishes, you know, when you're a teenager, it's hard to get it back. Yeah, I think you know, it's important for young Indigenous people to have good family structures, but also good community structures, and, you know, it's something that's, I guess, you know, really helped me, having something like the Windamara Co-op behind me.
I remember seeing him play a couple of games for Heywood early one season when that sort of thing was on, and he starred playing at centre forward and centre back. He was just a level above. He's been a great success on the football field, a great leader for Indigenous players, and a great example to the whole Aboriginal community, not only in southwest Victoria but across Australia.
Here's the handball out to Lovett Murray from 45 and closing. Bombers need the goal. Lovett Murray gives it to them. They're not done yet, the Bombers.
He's been a perfect warrior in my eyes. A perfect warrior that's done the absolutely perfect thing for us as a community. It portrays what we are as Gunditjmara people. Men. Fighting men. So that Gunditjmara warrior has achieved that much in our modern time, where the Gunditjmara warrior in our previous time was a born fighter and fought for his country, fought for his land, fought for his people, to be recognised as such. And for this young man to come out of nowhere and achieve this, and bang, you know, there he is for me, you know, on this big open space of the mighty MCG, doing his stuff. Every passionate football supporter's dream is to run there and play on that country. You know, so it's great. Sends a great message to all young Aboriginal men that this is it. You know, this is it, and this is where we want to be. The modern day warrior. Pointed him, warrior. Nathan Lovett Murray.
The house where I grew up in Heywood. I guess, you know, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for my mum. You know, she's a very strong woman, and is, you know, pretty much I had 2 sisters and 1 brother, and you know, she sort of raised us on her own, and you know, it would have been tough, and you know, we weren't probably the most easiest kids to sort of deal with growing up. But I think when you have kids of your own, you sort of, you know, you realise, you know, how hard it is, and, you know, just you know, I'm forever, you know, grateful for, you know, what my mum did for us, you know, raising us. This is my grandmother's house, or Auntie Laura, as everyone knows her. And yeah, I spent a lot of time here when I was growing up, and playing with all the dolls.
Behind that door.
Got the naughty room in there. So that's where.
Don't look in there. Ghost.
Whenever I, you know, get in trouble, I sit in the naughty room.
Doctor Laura.
Dr. Laura Bell.
Dr. Auntie Laura Bell.
Dr. Auntie Laura Bell. So
that's my citation I got on last Monday.
Yep. University of Ballarat. For all your community work, and
yes.
You did a lot of work in Indigenous education.
It's just been a journey, really, just to see what you can achieve if you want to do something. like with education, going through TAFE and that, it's always a numbers game. But if you get one Aboriginal person through a course, that's one person that's achieved, isn't it? Not just your, you know, numbers. Numbers are nothing. If you're going to do something, you've got to do like you're 42. You don't do much in that.
She's very well known around the community. You know, everyone knows her as Auntie Laura, and you know, because of the work that she does, you know, in the community, especially in Indigenous education, and also, you know, with the football clubs. She's always, you know, our #1 supporter at Heywood, and she's also, you know, been a big support of my football journey as well.
Our first we hadn't won a grand final for years and years and years in Heywood, and we eventually got one. Of course, they bring the cup around full of beer, and I don't drink beer. I don't. So they said, try. And I said, give me a straw then. Like, I got that.
You know, she's a bit of a character, and you know, she's a bit out there, and you know, but she's a very, you know, strong woman as well. And my nan's been a big influence in my life, you know, growing up, and you know, she helped my mum, you know, raise us kids, and you know, just to you know, have those two people in my life, you know, it's really sort of helped, you know, I guess, you know, make the person I am today. Our way out to Lake Condah mission, and just on the way through, we're just going through Greenvale now, and it's going down Lovett's Lane. This is where a lot of my grandma and a lot of her family grew up, brothers and sisters. They grew up out in this area out here, and when the Lake Condah mission was closed down, everyone sort of moved to this area around Greenvale and lived here, and because of the family history here, that they decided to name this road here Lovett's Lane, and yeah, it's very important sort of area for our family.
This is Lake Condah Aboriginal Mission, and it was a mission site that operated from the late 1800s to about the early 1900s, and it was a place that Aboriginal people were brought, and they were brought on here, and their whole lives were regulated. When the Aboriginal people were here, they weren't allowed to practice their culture. It was all about the church. The idea behind the mission was that bring all the Aboriginal people here and they would just die out. And that was the intent. With its long history and its long sad history, it's still the playground of our elders, and their memories here are of being together as families. Actually, it was the first land grant back to the traditional owners of the Gunditj Mara, and it's been a very special place, not only to Nathan, but to my generation and to Mum's generation, my grandmother's generation.
You know, it's an important place. You know, like ever since I was young, we've always come out here. We've been camping out here, and you know, learning the stories about the land and the area and how it all started. And you know, it's just great to be here and be able to bring my son out here, but also be here with my grandmother and my mother. Being able to bring Mara, you know, my son, he's only 5, to be able to bring him back here and you know, take him to the co-op, and you know, to bring him out here to the Lake Condah mission, and also, you know, to the football club, and for him to sort of get an understanding of you know, important places, you know, that sort of influenced me when I was growing up. It's, you know, really good for him, and you know, hopefully, you know, he sort of has that same sort of journey, and you know, he's successful at, you know, whatever he wants to do.
Very proud of Nathan. Yeah, and yes, because of his sporting ability, he got to play at AFL and kept himself there for a long time, and also of his him as a person, his outlook on life, his strength and his identity. He continues to speak out for Aboriginal causes and Aboriginal issues. Essendon's been a great support to him. So yeah, I am really proud of him.
G'day guys, it's Brendan Goddard here. Driving the conversation, I'm here with Alex, and I'm going to ask him a few questions on what it means to be an Essendon supporter. What is your most memorable moment?
That was probably Anzac Day '09, the last couple goals in the last
Yeah,
Zara
Zara to kick that goal when it just started raining.
There was a bit of man love in the crowd.
A bit of man love. It's always a good thing. To say thank you for your continued support of Essendon Footy Club, Kia is offering a substantial saving on all cars for anyone who's been a member for longer than 12 months. If you like the look of this wonderful Kia Sorento, you could save up to $2,600 if you buy one, just for supporting your favourite club. Go to the URL on the screen to learn about all of Kia's Essendon member offers.
Courtney was in the rehab group, had a sore ankle, and when people in the rehab group, we don't want him going out late at night. He was out late, he wasn't drinking heavily, he wasn't thrown out of any, he wasn't doing anything wrong, but the standards the players have set themselves is that he shouldn't have been out, and that's why he's not playing.
I was out injured, went out, which I shouldn't have been, and I guess that's the standard that we set at this club is professionalism, and obviously I didn't show it, and I got in trouble, and it's just an eye opener for everyone else at the club that no matter who you are, you still got to set the standards and you still got to do the things right, and obviously I didn't do it, and I got dropped for it. So yeah.
Yeah, look, I think the leader's been really strong in the culture that they want to develop within the footy club, and they've been terrific throughout the season so far, and I think this is just a statement to the group that they're not going to put up with people that step outside the way that they want to be perceived and the way they want to prepare for games, and Courtney felt that on the weekend, and I know he's deeply remorseful for it.
Clock counting down. Brisbane will record one of the great wins of this decade.
I think our side and the people that are within this footy club, we've got a lot of players that can come in and play really well. So I certainly didn't think the weekend that Courtney was the reason that we lost the game. We've got some guys that are in good form. We are driving standards. There may be a little bit of pain, but I don't think that was the reason why we lost on the weekend. I think it's really important to build a strong culture. I think that the players are going about it in the right way. They're really driving standards at training and trying to get those to a level that I think can be successful, and they're not going to put up with people that aren't going to abide by those. So I think it's a really strong stance. It's a proactive stance that they're making, and something that I know the coaching staff are really happy with.
It's a big game this week with against Richmond with the Dreamtime at the G, so it's going to be very hard to get back in, and hopefully I have put my hand up, but I guess it's all in the coach's hands now, so I can't do much about it but train hard and put my head down and just work hard.
Yeah, Courtney does come back into consideration this week. It's certainly going to come down to how he trains and how he prepares, and whether the leadership group feel that he's ready to come back in. But I think in general terms you think he would. He's an important player to us. We know that. We think highly of him as an individual, and we think he's really learnt from his lesson. It's really important for this footy club. I know it's been a really steep tradition that the club and the links that they've had with the Aboriginal communities and a strong link with the Aboriginal players within this football club. We've got 5 at the moment who are very proud, and you just only have to talk to them to get a real understanding of how they feel about it, to see how proud they are. And I think it's a great chance for us as a football club, but the whole football community to really embrace the Indigenous culture and get behind it, and it's going to be a great game as well.
Martin to Greg, left footer should go, and he does. Tigers get away.
They're a side that moves the ball very quickly. They're very efficient with their ball use, so it's something that we really pride ourselves on is defending the ground as best we can, and it's something that we really want to get back to. It's something that was a real strength of ours over the first 6 weeks. So if we can really do that, take one of their strengths away, I think it's going to go a long way to winning the game.
Revolt waiting, turning his man. It's a race against the clock, and Jack puts it through.
They've definitely got a dangerous forward line, and Jack Rewalt's not the only one. They seem to like to create a lot of space for each other. They've got some guys that are both good at ground level but also good in the air. So Vickery, King, McGuan, these types of guys are playing some really good footy for them.
Love it, Murray, magnificent goal from the boundary line. He celebrates.
We're really focused on the way we want to play, and we want to play a really hard contested game of footy that's great in defence and quite brave with the ball and attack. And we feel that we've probably stepped away from that in the last couple of weeks, and there's some areas within that we really need to tidy up. And as a group, I know that they're really focused on making sure they have a great week of training. I think that's the thing that we're really focusing on, is getting our training to a level that we know it can be at, and then that'll hopefully flow through on Saturday night.
it's a big cause for the Indigenous players in the league and around Australia. So it's good to be part of that game and that night. I think this year's even bigger because we're celebrating the shirt lifting of Nicky Winmar. So it's a big weekend again as well for that purpose, and just definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully get picked.
G'day guys, welcome to Dyson's Diary for this week. First of all, I'll start by saying it was awesome to see the Hep pals out there on the weekend running around with their little wigs. So thanks to all those guys, much appreciated. It was very cool to see. Obviously they had the 50th game on the weekend. Very exciting to make it to 50 games, but a bit disappointing with the result. But anyway, we'll move on to the Dreamtime game coming up this week against Richmond. So really looking forward to that game, and we're hoping to bounce back this week, and obviously a massive game for the club. And also, if you stick around after the show, there's a bit of a documentary coming up on our trip to Tiwi and Wadair that we went on last year with a few of the boys. So massive thanks to Antler Luggage for helping us out with that trip, and it should be a good doco, so check it out. Good on you guys, we'll see you next week.
The thing that I value most in life would be my family.
If I was making an important decision for my family, the thing I would value is probably the future.
The decision that I'm making for them is the right one, and also something that's going to make them happy.
Make sure that in the future I'm financially stable and I can, bring them up into a good lifestyle.
I think when you're making decisions about your family and the importance that you place on those decisions is their financial future and their happiness and security, and then you try and balance that with their lifestyle and trying to provide them the most enjoyable lifestyle you can. Difficult to get the balance right sometimes, but if you can find something that can do both, then I think that's the ultimate.
It's Dustin's 321st game tonight. He now only has one player standing in front of him, Simon Madden, 378.
I suppose to go past some Essendon legends, it's something when you finish footy I think I'll really look to, but at the time now, I think just having that name, the Fletcher name up there with some of these greats, it does mean a lot. But I'm not saying I'm as good as these type of guys, but just having your name mentioned with some of these guys, means a fair bit. And I don't sort of look at it a lot. I just go out week by week and play footy, and sometimes the records come, and you're pretty happy to be part of those records.
It's pretty comfortable stuff for Dustin Fletcher. Been doing that for years.
Yeah, again, something when I retire, I reckon I'll really look back to and enjoy.
Most people away from the club wouldn't know that I still live at home. I'm probably one of the only couple that still live at home, get to see mum every night and that sort of thing. So they give me a bit of stick for it, but it's saving a bit of coin. It's good fun.
Alex Brown's already kicked one marvellous goal. That one is high in the air and somehow it gets home.
My most annoying teammate would be Michael Heywood. Nicknamed Pig for a reason. He's he played a few pranks on me outside my house last Wednesday night actually, but he's a good mate, but he's definitely annoying. Don't forget to visit the Essendon website to take part in the fan segment for your chance to win an Antler prize pack.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.